Okay, so today we're going to look at Like I Want You by Giveon, or Giveon, don't know which one it is, but it's a very simple song. It's 4 chords, but there's a lot of fun things you can do to it. So I'm going to show you the basics of the song, and then I'm going to show you some other options you have in terms of substitutions and interesting things you can do. So with the chords, the first chord is a E flat minor. So I'm playing a E flat, G flat, D flat, B flat, D flat, F. And on the bass, I'm just playing the E flat with my left hand. The second chord is a F, and what I'm doing is a sharp 5, flat 7, sharp 9. You don't really need to know that. But it is F, A, C sharp, E flat, A flat. But I'm transitioning that into a diminished. So it's an F, A, C, E flat, F sharp. So what I'm doing is into diminished, and this chord is a B flat minor. So ordinarily you would see B flat, D flat, F, A flat, C, and sometimes even the E flat. But I am playing basically this chord but condensed. So if you take this chord and you move the C and then you move the E, that's what you get. So it's a condensed chord, but you can play, any variation, whatever you want to do. That's the third chord, and then the last chord is a B flat 7. And with this one, you can add a B, you can add a C, you can add the F sharp, you can do whatever you want. So altogether, it's going to sound like. So I'm going to show you a couple of options you have from going from the fourth chord back to the first chord, or the third chord, depending on how you're counting it. So going from a B flat to an E flat, again, we're doing a 7, but you can always add different notes to it. So in this case, what I was doing was just leading into that note, but you could always also add like the B, because that's the diminished. For this chord, you'll notice that this chord is actually basically the same chord as your F, but just on the B flat. So with the F to the B flat, you're doing in the sequence is a 2 to 5. But the same interval goes from B flat to E flat. So take this chord, move it up into this, and you can sound like that. That actually is the E flat minor, just condensed. So it would just sound like. Other options you have are, you could look at leading into the E flat through chromatically. So you could go from the B to a D, figure out how to get a nice sounding chord for the D to go to the E flat. So an option would be like, you have the B flat, like that. This is just the diminished chord, D, F, A flat, B. Another option for this note may be the augmented, so you could do D, 8 G flat, B flat. You could also chromatically go down. So if you go from the B flat to the E and then to the E flat, you could find chords that start on the E. So for example, and that is just a E major 7 add 9, and then leading back into that E flat minor chord. Another option for the E, if you keep the E, and maybe add like, that same B flat chord, or even like that or that, any one of these, because so many of these notes overlap with the chord you're going into. So for example, in this case, you have these 3 notes that are directly going to be in your next chord. So these sounds kind of work, especially when you're doing it chromatically. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to play it through a couple times with those very different variations. All right, thanks for tuning in.